Hi, so we are continuing with our lesson in some basic concept in math. So here what we're doing in this video is to check whether a given equation is identity, contradiction, or a conditional equation. These concepts are also needed in advanced math. So we're just going to explore to know what it means to say that an equation or a given equation is conditional. Okay. So given this equation, you want to check, right? What you have to do is solve the equation like we know, right? So I'm gonna expand or FOIL this one out, right? Distribute 4 throughout. I'm gonna have 4a minus 4, 1 plus, distribute 3 through this. I'm gonna have 6a plus 3, right? So the way we do it, you multiply the number you have outside of the brackets through everything, right? And this is what we have. So what I'm doing is sum the like terms or the like ones, the terms that I have in the same thing. So I have a 2 attached to an a and a 4 attached to an a, so I have to sum them. I have 2 of the a's plus 4 of the a's, so I have 6 of them, right? Minus 4 should be equal to, now I have 6a here and then plus 4. Okay, so what we're doing is try to make sure the terms with a variable are on one side and the terms without a variable, or the terms that are just numbers, are also on one side. So what we can do is subtract 6a from both sides and see what happens. Okay, if we do that, I'm gonna have this 6a here minus 6a is gonna give me 0 of the a's, right? And I still have my negative 4. And then this 6a minus that 6a, I'm going to have 0 of that plus 4, okay? So in effect, this equation will simplify to negative 4 is equal to 4. Is this true? Negative 4 is not equal to 4. So this is actually a contradiction equation, okay? It's just contradicting ourselves, right? And this normally happens. Sometimes you're solving a problem and you set up an equation and you realize that your equation doesn't make sense or it contradicts itself. Okay. So the next one is to solve this the same way and check if this is an identity, contradiction, or whatever. Okay, whatever we are trying to do with. Okay. So here we start solving again. So 8 minus, I distribute 8 through, I'm going to have 24n plus, minus 8 times 5 is negative 40, negative 5 plus 6 plus 6n. Okay, so what I'm going to do the same thing, right? Try to simplify them as much as I can. So 24n, negative 24n, I have 8 minus 40, I'm going to have negative 32, right? Equals negative 5 plus 6, and that will give me 1, right? Plus 6n. So like I say again, I want to put all the terms with n on one side. Preferably, I want to put all the terms with n on the left side of the equation and all the terms without n on the right side. So on the right side, what I can do is add 32 to both sides and see. So what I'm going to get is negative 24n. If I add 32 to this, I'm going to have negative 32 plus 32, which is 0. So I'm going to have equals 1 plus 32 is 33 plus 6n. Okay. Then I go ahead and do what I can. I'm going to subtract 6n from both sides in order to get the n's on the left side. Okay. If I subtract, these two will cancel, right? 6n minus 6n will go to 0. So I have negative 24 minus 6n. Negative 24 minus 6n will give me negative 30n, right? Negative 24n minus 6n, right? That's going to give me negative 30n, should be equal to 33. So what I'm going to do is divide through by negative n, negative 30, sorry. That's going to be negative 30n divided by negative 30 equals negative 33 negative 30, right? And in fact, what do I have? I have n should be equal to negative 11 over 10, right? I hope this is the solution. And that is n. Now, what does this mean? It means that this equation is a conditional, that this side, okay, the left side of this equation will be equal to this side, this other side, with a condition that n should be equal to this. So if n is this, then this is true. So this is a condition, right? It's conditioned at the point where n should be equal to that, and this will make it true. If n is any other number, this is not true, and that is what I mean by condition. This equation is conditioned on the fact that n should be equal to negative 11 over 10 before the equation on the, or the expression on the left of the equation will be equal to the expression on the right of the equation, right? So this is a condition. Now let's check the other one. So with this, I'm going to distribute again through by negative 4, so I'm going to have negative 16. Sorry about that. Okay. My pen just fell, so yeah, let's change the color of the pen to black, right? Negative 16x minus 20, right? This should be equal to negative 6 minus 16x minus 14. Okay. Now I have negative 16x minus 20. Negative 6, negative 14. I'm gonna have negative 20 minus 16x. Again, I want to bring all the expression, or the terms with the x to the left side, the terms with no x to the right side. So what I'm gonna do is add 16 to both 16x to both sides. If I do that, on the left side I'm gonna have 0 because I have negative 16x plus 16x minus 20, and here I'm gonna have negative 20 plus 0 because, or maybe minus 0, whatever you want to write, because I have negative 16x plus 16x, so that cancels out and I have this. Okay, in effect I'm saying negative 20 is equal to negative 20. This is true, right? So this is just an identity, because you're gonna need these kind of equations or to work out things like this in concepts like differential equations or DFQ if that is how you know it. Okay, so differential equations, at some point you're supposed to show that a given function is an a solution to a differential equation, and all that you do is to solve it in a way that you get an identity like these. Okay, or somebody may want to also go further and say, oh, I want to add negative 20 to both sides. If I add negative 20 to both, if I add 20 to both sides, I'm gonna have 0 is equal to 0, which is perfect thing to say, right? 0 is actually equal to 0, and this is an identity. An identity is a case where you have whatever you have on the left side of the equation is the same thing as what you have on the right side. And of course, if you look at this very carefully, this and this are the same after foiling it out. Okay, you have negative 16x on one side, negative 16x on the other side, negative 20, negative 20. So this is just an identity. Okay. All right. So this is how come you know whether equation is an identity, it's a contradiction equation, or a condition. In our next lesson, we'll talk more about solving for a particular variable in an equation, or what people term as change of subject. All right, changing the variable that start on the far left. Okay, see you in our next lesson.